Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to another video. As you've seen by the title, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make like an animation where little gifs or little images fall down your profile. And a lot of people have like suggested to make a tutorial about this. I don't know why so many people want to know how to do this. I'm guessing they saw the animation on my SpaceHey account because I have a little animation like that, a little stars falling on my profile. Uh, First things first, the code that I originally used for that, it is not mine. It is a code that it was in the layout section of SpaceSafe, and I just changed the images of it. So again, credits to them. But do not worry because that does not stop me from still making a tutorial of this. I have created my own animation, which basically is kind of the same thing. In my profile, the animation I had was like slowly falling down like little snowflakes. The animation itself is called snowflakes in the code that the person did. My animation is gonna be more like imitating rain. It's gonna fall straight down, right? And much quicker. So, yeah. But if you still want to use the one that I originally had in my Space account that isn't mine and I didn't like, and then it's like slowly falling, then I will also leave it in the comments below. But I will also show you basically how the code in general works because that person's code and the code that I made is kind of the same thing. The only thing I did is change the speed of things. So yeah. So obviously we're going to go to edit your profile. And the first thing we're going to do is tell the code where exactly are the little images that or the gifts that you want to use are even going to go. And obviously, you don't want them to be in there in your about me. You don't want them to be in who I'd like to meet. You want them to be all over your page, right? And to do that, we have to create like an invisible container that basically spreads through the width and height of the SpaceHey layout. And so, how do we do an invisible container where on the inside we can see little gifts falling down? We use this thing right here. So we started off. So we basically just created a container, but we still are not. We have to add the name of the container as well. So by doing that, we add class, equal sign, then this little symbol, and then in between these two, we're going to add the name of the um, of the animation or the container. So it doesn't really matter what you put here. It really is just to, like tell you what it's going to be. And then right after that, we just close the container by adding this final symbol. So we have now created the container. Now we need to actually add the gifs inside of the container. To add the content, which is going to be the gifs, we're going to create something similar to this. We're going to create separate containers inside of the already container we created. And you can either name them all the exact same, which I usually recommend, or you can name them differently, but again, I'm just gonna name them the exact freaking same. So, after this, you are going to add the image URL. So, once you do that, you close this and then you start a new one. And this is going to be image source, which basically literally means image source. And inside these little thingies, you put the image link. And for this, I usually, like, for this animation specifically, I recommend little, like, pixel stuff. I recommend favicons, which are, little small stuff that you can use, right? So, I use this Tumblr page, pixelsoup.tumblr.com. Pretty cute, it's really simple. And there's a lot of favicons here that you can choose from. Or you can also use an image, right-click one, and then you copy a link, and then in these little symbols that we put in between here, we're gonna paste that. And then we're gonna close this. And voila, this is our first image that we're gonna add. And you're going to add like multiple of these until you have the right amount of GIFs or images that you want to be falling from your site. Okay, so now I have added all of the um images, all the GIFs. I'm pretty sure I added 8. So now that we have finally, added all the images, you can even add more than these, but again, the more you add, the more you're going to have to animate each one. and it's a little bit difficult, but it's matter. So once you have all the containers, right, at the end of the last one, you're gonna add this 2 times, alright? So it basically closes up because remember, like, these containers are inside of another container, so just remember to close off the big container after doing the small ones. So now it is time for the styling of the animation. So we are going to create now a new code, and that code, since it's CSS, we are now going to put the little thing on style. Just remember to put this because then it literally will not work. So after that, we are now going to create the style of the animation per se. Not really animation itself, just how the animation will look like. So we will add this little symbol right here. And then after that, we're going to add WebKit keyframes and that little symbol right here. So WebKit keyframes is just like a little toggle that allows you to make, well, animations, right? The keyframes of an animation. And you can use keyframes, but WebKit normally is for older websites, so it can still work. Since SpaceHey, for some reason, does not want me to just use keyframes, I have decided to use WebKit keyframes, so whatever. So, after that, oh wait, sorry, mistake there. After adding WebKit keyframes, you're going to put the name of, well, of the container, right? And since we named all of them falling gift, this animation is going to affect all of them. If you name them differently, then you're going to have to create multiple of these little sections, but that's why I usually recommend to name them all the exact same thing, because you want them all to have the same animation, right? And then right after that, we will add open bracket. So we go down the line, and similar to my other video before this one where I showed you guys how to add that moving rainbow animation, this one is kind of similar to that. We add the keyframes are based on percentage. So yeah. So after you put that thing on top, right? We will now create our first keyframe, right? So that's gonna be 0%. And then right after that we put open. Let's just put that one here to differentiate them. Open bracket. And then we go down a line. Sorry, I'm checking the code I have made here. I have it right here because I do forget some things. So this is our first animation, right? Our first keyframe. 0% is where the animation is about to begin. Like everything is normal, right? And since the little gifts are meant to be falling down, so they must be hitting on underneath this thing until it's their time to come down. So the first keyframe is gonna be about, them being hidden away, right? So we're gonna add top, and we're gonna put -10%, which basically means that it will hide the gifs at the first stage of the animation. Like instead of them being seen like on top of here, they will be hidden away until it's their time to fall down, right? And so once you do that, you just close it off with a little keyframe. We just put the keyframe there. And yeah, that's basically like just in my other video, you add multiple keyframes. So now we're gonna add another keyframe, which is gonna be 100%. And this one's just gonna be 2 keyframes, right? And it's gonna be 100%, and obviously for this one, it's gonna be all the way to the bottom. Like the gifts are gonna fall all the way to the bottom. So, top, 100%. and we close it out with a closed bracket. And right after that, we put the bracket for this little thing. And that's basically our first section right here. Now we have to do another animation. So let's do that. Oh, guys, one thing I forgot is that you should also put fall in this section because it tells the code that you're making a fall animation because, it's falling, right? So just remember to put a fall with a dash. Sorry about that. So now we're going to create another animation which is going to be similar to this one. It's also going to be about keyframes. So we're going to add this thing again. And so WebKit keyframes, we're just going to put keyframes. The name of the animation, and after that we put fall, open bracket, and then, just like this one, we are going to put the first keyframe, which is going to be 0%, and then open bracket, top, and then right after this, we put, just like in the other ones, minus 10%. And then we close that off, and then we put the second keyframe 100%, open bracket, top, 100%. And then we close that, and then we close it fully. So now we have the style of both of our animations that will make our gifs, well, fall down the page. So now the third step is going to be like, we made the animation, right? But now it's time to style how the animation will like behave with all of the other stuff around. So yeah. Okay, so I have done the styling of the animation, which looks a little bit intimidating, but it's actually like really easy stuff. So how do you even begin this animation? You just put the name of the animation, dot, mine was falling dash gift, so that's why I added. But if you added something like fall animation, then you can put that, or whatever name you put, just as long as remember to put dot at the start of this, and then open bracket. So now what exactly do all of these things like mean? Um, well, the first one where it says position fixed, uh, it basically just sets the position, right? It ensures that when, for example, you're scrolling or whatever, the GIFs stay in a fixed position that's like relative to the browser window. Like the GIFs will not move even if you're like scrolling down or up. Like the GIFs will obviously still move, but like they won't move with the scrolling, alright? So the second toggle, top minus 10, this basically just like, even though we've already done it with the keyframes, I have done it a third time because sometimes the before the animation starts, the GIFs just stay on top of here really weirdly, and I don't want you guys to experience that. So we're adding it a third time just to be extremely sure. And this basically just ensures that the GIFs will stay, hidden slightly above the visible screen before the animation starts. And the minus 10% ensures the GIFs are initially hidden. Alright. So now, C dash index 9999. This basically just determines the stacking order. C index is a stacking order. A higher C index ensures that the GIFs appear above all of the other elements on the page. So if you know how to, make them on top of the page, then this is how to do it. They're all above elements. Don't ask me why I can't put like 10,000, alright? That's the most that the code allows you to put. Alright? For example, if other elements have a higher C index value, the gift might be hidden behind them. So that's why it's best to put the absolute number. If you lower this C index, for example, this background, it has, if you lower the C index so much that this background has a higher C index, then the animation will appear on the background, alright? I'll actually get over that in a minute of how to like put the animation in the background as well. But right now I'm showing you how to do it on top. So this basically makes it be on top of everything else, alright? So then this entire part where it says WebKit user select, MOS user select, MS user select, um, literally all of that, WebKit, MOS, and MS are browser-specific prefixes for compatibility with older version of Chrome, Firefox, and Internet Explorer because some people are like broke and they don't have like very good computers like me. So this helps them still see the GIFs even if they're like in a really, really old browser. And the last one, the one that says user select none, is the standard version of all modern browsers. So the next one where it says cursor default, that one sets the mouse pointer to its normal appearance, the arrow or whatever, and it won't change, like it'll be on top of the gifs. So yeah. Then right after that, we have WebKit animation name, falling GIF fall, animation name, falling GIF fall. These things just link the code to the falling GIF fall keyframes that we did up here. So it knows what animation to put. I'm right around where it says WebKit animation duration 5 seconds, WebKit animation timing function liner, WebKit animation uh 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 iteration count infinite. All of those things are just like the time, right? For example, the first one is just the duration of the animation. Alright, this basically just makes the GIFs fall slower or faster. Then the second one, where it says liner, this basically just makes the animation liner itself makes the animation speed consistent throughout. For example, you know how in editing apps you have things like fade out, fade in? Well, here it's kind of similar. We have ease out, ease in. Ease out is basically like, it goes in really fast and then slows down, and ease out is really slow and then really fast. But obviously, we don't want it to be like really fast and then really slow, or really slow and then really fast. We want it to be constant, the same speed throughout the entire animation. So that's why I recommend liner. And then infinite, well, this thing right here, I mean, it's pretty obvious what it does. It just makes the animation loop over and over and over again, and it does not stop. So even once the GIF animation like ends, the GIFs will just keep on appearing over and over again in a new animation. So yeah. And so finally, we are now going to make the final part of our code, which will magically complete the entire um animation. And if you thought all of these were hard, well, the hardest part is yet to come. So yeah. And so I have created a small part of the code. So what exactly even is going on here? Well, after the name, as you can see, this little thing that says NTH of type 0, that little toggle right there targets specific gifs based on their order. For example, if we put number 1 into this, everything that we put inside of this toggle will affect the first gift that we put up here in the containers. If we put number 2 inside the little code, everything that we type in here will affect, well, the second gift that we put in the containers, and so on, so on. And you have to do this individually for each and every single gift. So I'm going to have to repeat this 8 times. If you put 10, you're going to have to do it 10 times. If you put 20, I don't know why you want 20, then you're going to have to do it 20 times. This is why I said that, like, the more isn't typically the best thing I recommend you, because then you have to, um, do all of that at the end of the. And what exactly does this even like help us with? Well, inside of these little toggles, it will allow us to, you know, since it's, like the animation that I'm going for is rain, all the droplets of rain don't fall at the same time, all right? Um, for it to have a more natural falling look and for all of the little gifts to fall at, different speeds and different times and at different places instead of all in the same exact spot, we use these codes to change, well, the position of where they're gonna fall and when they're gonna fall. So now what do the things inside it means? So the left toggle basically just positions the gifs horizontally on the screen. For example, left 1%, I mean, what the hell is wrong? What am I talking about? 1% places the gifts near the left ledge, right? While the other one where it says left 10% moves the second GIF farther to the right. Where it says animation delay, right? Animation delay and where it says that, um, it basically just creates a staggered effect, right? Like it delays the animation by 1 second. Like when the animation starts, this GIF will not fall into 1 second later. This basically creates like a staggered effect for the GIFs and it will make the falling motion more natural. Obviously, you don't have to do it because this entire code I'm gonna paste it down below in the comments for you guys to use. But it is good to know like what each of these do. So if you ever encounter a problem, you can just fix it because you know what to do. So now it is time to, do this and add a custom, position to the 8 gifs that I added. And voila, I have added all of them. Also, for some reason in the other code that I had, I completely forgot to add this WebKit thing. But do not worry because again, the code will be in the comments. You do not have to type it out yourself. It is a lot, I know. All you have to do really is just change the images that I'm gonna leave down below. So, yeah. But again, it's good to know what all of these things do and why we're even adding them in the first place. All right. And so once you have added, custom so now that we added this, we finish off the animation with this style. And all of this code together will grant us the falling gift animation that we so desperately wanted. So you click Save All, and then you click View Your Profile, and voila! The gifts are now there and they're falling all differently from different positions over your page. And yeah, this is basically how it should look like. If it does not look like this, then you clearly did something wrong. But it doesn't matter because again, I'm gonna leave a code in the comments. So there's no possible way that you could like mess something up because I'm gonna leave a code either way. So although it looks different from the one that I had on my profile, which they fall slowly, it's still the same thing. I mean, the code wasn't mine, and I wanted to create my own animation, so this is basically it. But I'm still gonna leave both of the codes in the comments below. And yeah, that's basically it. I really hope this tutorial was helpful for you guys. And please subscribe because I haven't done this tutorial in such a long time because it was kind of hard to do this. I kept bugging out, but whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. If you have any other suggestions of what else you'd like to see, please tell me in the comments. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!